Hello and welcome to episode 54 of my informative playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker, and we are just about to have a look inside this cave. This required this perception check. It's not very difficult, but we tried it in the previous episode with just main character and Kaliki, and couldn't do it. But the main reason for coming back here is that even if you spot it with them, it's quite a tough environment just to do with two people. It's very easy with the full party.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Because there's not really much that can touch us here at this stage.
Repent.
To the point where, you know, it's pretty much a buffless approach, although I'm not entirely sure why we're spewing out bullets. You might remember these tremendous centipedes from way back in the Sycamore Depths, where we fought one of them, and it was very difficult. Here, less so. But basically, there's a main reason for exploring in here. Nothing particularly exciting. In fact, I definitely do not want bucklers there. We can throw them away. The main reason for exploring here is that it actually opens up a kingdom project to reopen this mine. So the old Taldan Adit is surprisingly well preserved. The ore mine could be restored here. So yes, that's the dream. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show off
I'm always ready.
slowing mud here, because I went and took slowing mud, but so there we go. That should have affected various individuals. And the joy of slowing mud is if we bring it up. So not only does it have this slowing effect, but it does this, which is a feature that means it's basically one turn in which they're completely out of the fight. So equivalent of, I guess, one round stun. So something which haste doesn't have, and slowing mud does. So it's just a nice little add-on. You see, it's basically blinded for one round, so we can do a bit of clearing.
You offend me.
While there, not that there's very much to worry about here, but it's still just quite fun to make use of. And even though they're firing against touch AC, they're not. I don't think they've hit once, which would be a nice opportunity for a change where somebody hits Harem here. Who are you aiming for? Yeah. His AC is so bad. So we really don't want him there. Yeah, anyway, we're going to clear up the rest of this location. It's mostly mushroom picking. There is something cool. There's a chest over here, which I believe has got a wand in it. There we go. Yes, in fact, a wand of fireball, and I'm going to put that in the bank. And brace of armor +1, not particularly exciting, and some little bits as well. We'll take all of that, and then we are going to crack this mine open again. So you see the rubble is not so great. You could move it aside, so we need someone with athletics. So we're going to ditch our stuff there, so that our athletics is at 15. It's DC 24.
Just letting the ink dry.
So we'll buff there, and we will attempt to ensure victory here.
Give the order. I've completed my task.
And that's a success. Nice roll of 6. So, and we better remember to put that back on. There we go. So that's reopened this little Sorrowflow mine here, which we can then use this event to put back into production, which is great. And that's it
Trivial task.
for this location. All cleared. This is some loot which we can check, but I'm pretty sure it's of no consequence at all. So now I'm gonna just show off a little something that I consider is worth your time if you're over here. A different route to take. Yes, it's a regular mace, heavy mace. Because we had a letter from Magar Varn, basically saying, well, you can come over if you want, and also I'd like a trade deal. And we're going to do the trade deal, but we do have the opportunity to travel across to Varnhold. And if we see, down here, Varnhold, if we come down, how are we doing for encumbrance? Yeah, we're okay. Come down here, let's try and avoid that. Ooh. Right, you get to see me cope with whatever awful thing, whatever really difficult combat is dumped on us.
Who will prevail?
What have we got? An alpha warg. That's not what I expected, but I'm worried we're going to be having something coming in around the side. So, yes please. Hold off for a moment. This might be it. In which case, go back there. Tripped. Quite a tough enemy. We're just going to... Is the cat dead? No. I thought there was a momentary panic there.
Ever learn?
That should... That should be shaken as well. Yeah. And we should just be able to finish it now. If it doesn't kill Valerie in the process. There we go. Not as tough as I thought it was going to be. Since you can get some really horrible attacks. 7 barbarian, 4 magical beasts. That's perfectly doable if there's only one of them. Get a warg pelt, which is not very exciting. No, I've seen ambushes here which are just, you know, catastrophic, like loads of earth elementals, big rock, as in ROC, the bird, lots of wyverns fighting goblins. That's a scripted one actually, although it's scripted, but the location isn't scripted, so you can get that all over the place. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to hang on to our resist poison communal, or delay poison communal, rather than cast it with all those centipedes. So, this route here will come up to Talon Peak. We're not going to go up there because we need to go up there for quests later. We're going to go east here, and we're going to, scripted random encounter. And you can see here, basically, as we approach Varnhold, we're waylaid by a patrol. And they recognise us, and they want to escort us to Varnhold. So the point on it, with a metagaming perspective, it's so you can't roam around this area until such a point as you are allowed to, as part of the game. But we can travel to Varnhold to meet Magar Varn, who we met at our, not coronation, but our enbaronialment back in Restov. So, but first we can just ask what the cause for the caution is. And bandits, people leaving Restov, which is just up here, like just directly up from there, to ply their banditry in the stolen lands to the south. Anyway, let's let the guards escort us to Varnhold. And this is not a very exciting map, but it does have, it's worth visiting, and there are some features here that's worth paying attention to. Oh, and it's terrible bloody weather. Okay, looks like we're doing slow walk. Ugh, why is there so much lightning in these storms? Anyway, we're going to grab in here, which ancient Ruslandic coin. There's a couple of collectibles here, including part of the script covered leather. But Cephal Laurentus, yeah, he doesn't say very much, but he has names, so it's worth paying attention to, and he wants us to go bother Varn. So we are going to head east. This is abysmal weather. I can't believe this happens so often. Anyway, we want a chest down here. If everyone would just hurry up a little bit. There's a chest down here, there's a chest up here, and there's Magar Varn himself, who we can talk to. There's also some cabbages and vegetables you can pick, but I don't really consider that worth it in this weather. We get peasants complaining about rats getting in the grain and various issues. But this is one reason to come here. This is a Frost Scythe +2. If you want to keep Jaethal using a scythe, this is a really nice weapon for her. 22 to 33 damage. That's really quite good. Or it would be doing that if it was equipped. So yeah, and it's worth a lot of gold. So that's the other option. Yeah, we've got this here, this little wall, which I'm surprised anyone has seen that in this terrible weather. Taldan dog tag. Now, there's a sort of fort up here, but we can't actually do anything up there. We're actually very limited about what we can and can't do in this environment, which is limited basically to stealing their vegetables, talking to Magar Varn, and coming over here to steal the contents of this box. Yes, not only terrible weather, but dark as well, which is really horrid. I suppose if we'd wanted to be Baroness of somewhere nice, we could have gone further south. So in here, we've got some various bits and pieces, none of which really matters. And we got this, the Heart of Ira, there. So there's a nice inscription, yeah. But the main point is you can surround yourself with an aura of nothingness. While the aura is active, creatures adjacent to the wearer take 2d6 damage per round and must succeed a DC 17 reflex save throw and to avoid becoming fatigued. Also, if you're wearing it, you're immune to fatigue and exhaustion. So, I mean, that doesn't sound riveting. However, if you activate this, I think I've talked about this before, while invisible, enemies won't notice that they're dying. So you can just sit there and let them kill themselves on your fancy necklace. The other advantage is it's worth 16,000 gold, which is incredible. That's a lot of gold. So, you can sell this, and that will get you, hundreds of build points. I mean, that's it's like 200 build points or something for that. That's really quite nice. If my maths isn't completely off. 100 for 8,000. So yeah. So finally, we'll talk to Magar Varn. Yeah, or not finally, because we want this part of an artifact just over here. There we go. So another piece of scrap of script with leather. And you can see that Magar Varn is arguing with a merchant. So let's just say hi. So he's a tall, robust man. Dark hair is gathered back. He's wearing an expensive doublet with strong muscles. And he recognises us, and he's pleased to see us here. And he says something to Valerie, and she is less than happy. Filled with apologies. Anyway, we can say something nice to take Valerie's side here. Hope the matter is closed, and he is very much that it is. So, yeah, it's not in a good mood. Okay, so we got an invitation, hence why we have paid a visit. And yes, you're surveying your eastern border. Make sure there's nothing but allies here. And in reference to the merchant, taking the reins of government into your own hands. And yes, greedy merchants. It's a bit of a theme in fantasy games. Anyway, life in Varnhold is in full swing, and yes, just I guess platitudes. He's establishing it, yada yada yada, and yeah, they're hoping to get a foothold here, clear the land of creatures, monsters, and spriggans alike. People must feel safe. Planning future conquests, and although in the future, who knows? Who knows? Well, it's not that reassuring, but he does imply that, look at that lightning strike, it almost hit us. But he's just joking that there's lots of land to the east, relatively wild and unclaimed, rather than turning his eye to Shrike Hills. Anyway, who are you allied with? And sees that it's quite blunt. Yeah, but he doesn't really feel particularly positive about the Swordlords, despite their role in establishing the barony. And yes, I'd rather bet on our mutual interests as neighbours than on the distant Swordlords and their like. So he's very well predisposed to us. Anyway, I stumbled across a most peculiar old man on my way here. That's who was just outside the inn, and that's Cephal Laurentus, my wizard, who we'll learn more about as the main plot continues. Yes. If this object looks interesting, I send it to Cephal so that I can separate the wheat from the chaff. So, this curious object unearthed while ploughing. So there's an implication that there's lots of things buried under this land. And again, this is stuff for the future, for future videos as we progress into later acts. But yeah, implication that the land they are ploughing has much in the way of archaeological artifacts beneath it. And that's it. That's all we need to do here. We're going to get away very quickly. These vegetables, and there's like cabbages as well that we can pick. Anyway, it's a shame the weather was so bad when we came here. We don't get to appreciate Varnhold, but looks like it's fading. Just in time to to finish. Anyway, leave this horrible place behind. And what you'll notice, because this is the main thing I wanted to show, that is, I haven't calculated the times, but it kind of feels like a shortcut. And it means we loop around.
I decree we set up camp.
You'll notice we're not where we left. We went off down here, and we appear down here. So we didn't need to travel from there round this side like that. Now, time has progressed, so it may well actually not be a shortcut. But rather than having to come down here and go in there and then back out the same way, we get to just loop round like that, which is quite nice. And it puts us next to our next stop in this little loop, which is Lake Silverstep Village. And we are going to enter here, even though we're fatigued. And I'm going to do a little bit of this, and then we're going to have to rest, and I'll probably cut the video off there. Although I'm not entirely sure yet. My video timings have been all over the place recently. Really long videos, 16-minute video, because I kind of thought so much more time had gone by.
Adventures can wait.
Anyway, we look at this map. This is another really large map, so there's lots to do here. And we've kind of, there's a theme with these maps that, do not click on that. That there'll be lots of mobs, like these tatzelworms down here, which shouldn't prove to be difficult at all now. But if one was to climb down that slope, you'd end up right in the middle of them. And being fatigued, don't really fancy that. So, we're going to come up here to this house first. And we'll steal the stuff. So this is, the first part of the information about, one of the overarching plot events of this area. So this is a letter, well, it doesn't actually say who it's from, but this is a letter to Lisa, and this recounts, it's a letter between a husband and wife. This recounts how they met, and if we come down here, this recounts, a tall tale told to his children about a dragon up on the cliff. this silver dragon here. And then it recounts the tragic tale of how these two children, went up looking for this dragon and slipped on the cliff and died. And yes, that's the name, Ivar, I now remember, now that I've been reminded. But yes, a tall tale which resulted in the accidental death of two children due to them sneaking out to try and find a dragon. And you can perhaps infer that this is where they lived, but there's nobody around. So yes, there's a pile of torn sheets of paper scribbled on. The text is faded and almost unreadable. Somebody's been writing notes for a while. And yes, now it looks almost abandoned. The door is shut tight. Now if we look at this map, the two hardest fights are basically here and up here, so we're going to avoid that corner until later instead.
And Lindsay was called for.
I'm just going to come over here, try and spot some
What
stuff.
do we have here?
1 and 2. This one's not very exciting.
Anything else?
Yeah, but this one is. Because if I remember rightly, in here is a huge amount of gold. Yeah, 2,000 gold in a tree stump. And we're just going to loop around the... Ooh, no we're not, because we got boars.
I'll share my path.
So we're going to try and clear various bits and pieces as we
I'm
go
never wrong.
on these buffs we've scrimped and saved for.
Lindsay the Magnificent? Lindsay the Illustrious? Something more simple, like
Is there trouble?
Lindsay the Great? Maybe Lindsay the Indecisive. No time for idling.
Yeah, a bit short on stuff.
The world is
but,
full of wonder.
let's just go there.
I don't tolerate
These
threats.
shouldn't prove very difficult. Level 5 animals there. They got their attack bonus is rubbish. They can't hit this cat except on a natural 20. What are you doing up there? But they can of course roll a 20. So that's
Your time is over.
okay.
Do not
There's a
falter.
bush in the way. Let's see what it is. Don't waste them, Jubilos.
Onward.
This is
1,
where I step in.
2,
Serves you right.
3, 4,
You should have run.
and 5. That hurt. Poor old cat.
I wrote it like I saw
Adventures
it.
can wait.
Skin and collect. And just move around the top. Yeah, because there's another box to steal.
Applause, please.
or loot sensibly. So we're just going to sneak up here, hopefully without
The dangers don't
triggering
frighten
anything
me.
too much. Right.
Adventures are exciting.
Yes.
Just heal up a little bit, because there we go. And
Friendship lasts forever.
since we got loads of these hastes to spare, we'll just see what we can do. Got ferocious wargs, alpha wolves, dire wolves. These dire wolves, not so dangerous, but the ferocious warg and the alpha wolf still pose a bit of a risk.
What a waste.
So that's yeah, because I mean, the way I sort of see it, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies. They're all swinging. Some of them have got multiple attacks per round. Even if they're only hitting on a natural 20, that is a lot of opportunities to roll a 20. And if you don't have displacement up as well and potentially mirror image, you're going to be getting hit every so often. Which is why people say that mages or arcane spellcasters make the best tanks, because of course they have access to mirror image, which is actually quite difficult to spell to get hold of. Hence, yeah, so you can see over here, Ferocious Hydra. This is a tough fight, not because of the Hydras, but because of who's with them. So we're going to avoid that for now. And just come up here. And spot this. Rocks are moved from their usual places as something very huge and extremely strong used to walk here. Some pieces of fish innards can be seen on the ground, so it looks as if something's been feeding there. And we'll come back to that a little bit later. First of all, we found Ivar, who was mentioned in the note, and we also get this nice view of various fishing vessels. So, let's have a chat. And yes, a tall red-headed man dressed in hunter's clothing is balanced at the brink of this cliff. One wrong move and he'd fall into the chasm. And we're going to interject and try and stop him hurling himself off. And yes, it seems that that wasn't the plan at all. He introduced himself as a dragon's voice, and he knows who we are. You know who I am. I know everything that happens in the village and leagues around. Of course I was aware of your arrival. Such a prestigious guest striding into our lands. Yes, and we can, I think sensibly, we're not hiding our identity. And yeah, says that's quite nice. Anyway, who are you? And he introduces himself as once a simple hunter, and now keeps the peace in this region by order of their lord, the Silver Dragon. Who on earth is that? So you're the dragon's voice, right? That's what people call me. These lands are under protection of the Silver Dragon, and I'm his most trusted servant. And we can ask for an audience here, or we can be quite rude. Anyway, he says that that's not going to happen. We can reference the house, which we saw, and we can commiserate with him or sympathise, I suppose. I know about your family. I'm sorry for your loss. And yes, anyway, he considers that he doesn't deserve sympathy due to, I suppose, past events. Anyway, this is our only option now. And why are you so sure that this another time will happen? I won't be staying here long. There's an old saying, sluggish wolf soon starves. So I guess bear that in mind for what comes in the future. Yes, a bit of foreshadowing. Anyway, if we click this, there's nothing else we can say. There's no other option. So that's it. For now, that is our conversation with Ivar. And what actually pops up? Yeah. Let's see what I can remember. Yeah. It indicates we should re-find him. But for now, we're just going to continue to explore the map. We've heard... Is that bugged out? Yeah. So we've heard his tragic story. We've heard reference to this silver dragon, that he appears to be the voice or the emissary of some dragon, which we don't really know much about, just that he's referenced it. Now we just want to come down and we'll just deal with these boars, since basically what I'm trying to do is clear as much as possible on this rest, so that I don't then need to do them on the next rest and run low on buff times, essentially. There we go. And we will take some more boar pelts. Excellent. So we're just going to come along here, finish clearing this little bit. There's nothing particularly dangerous around here. I'm staying well clear of the most dangerous areas. Herbs. And what we want to do is just come down here to see Lika. And a token of the Dryad. So, hi Lika. And zoom in a bit. So she is a Nixie, fey creature. And she's crying. She's not very happy. Go away! If my family sees you, you're as good as dead. I promise. Anyway, what's going on? What's your name? I'm Lika. This lake is our home, though we've let other people live around here too. Oh, we never should have done that. We should have chased those foolish bumpkins away as soon as they started building their houses here. Now they've brought disaster down on us all. So, why are you crying? My family kicked me out, all because of what I did to that stupid boat. Everyone was furious when the evil box fell in the lake, but I was just trying to do the right thing. Anyway, I'm no enemy to the Fae. In fact, Alice here has got Fae blood. And if you were an enemy, you'd just be a few bubbles on the lake's surface by now. But here I am, see? Still standing and talking with you. The Nixie sobs again and rubs her eyes with her palm. So, we want to know what's happening, because there's obviously something up. And this is the backstory here. Those men brought trouble. The ones from the big boat. They came from tours of Lebanese. And they brought that scary box with them. Even the fish in the lake could tell the box was very, very evil. But those fools on the boat just laughed, bowing to the box, calling themselves Sharon's Chosen or something. They claimed he'd reward them soon. I was the one who rewarded them, though. I made them crash that big boat against the foot of the high cliff and sink themselves. And this is Sharon here, a archdemon. Harrim interjects, you know, if Harrim says something's bad, it must be bad, because, you know, as a cleric of Grotus, yes. Did you drown those travellers? And essentially, yes. That was the last thing anyone saw of them. The evil box sunk too. If I hadn't done it, they'd have opened the box, you understand. Then something terrible would have happened. So, what's in the box? I don't know. It's an evil box. And, everyone but the stupid humans can sense it. So fish started jumping ashore. This is worth bearing in mind here. After the box fell in the lake, wolves took their hunting up north to get away from it. And that's again worth bearing in mind. And the humans wanted to open it. First the ones from the boat, and now these other ones. So, you said someone else is trying to open the box? Who is it? More strangers. They hid in the cave near the lake. So basically people are trying to... People sailed across the lake with an evil box. She caused the boat to sink, but now other people are trying to fish it out. And we can get an inkling of what's in it. It's a huge scary box that has a picture of a one-eyed skull with a coin on it. Now we've seen one-eyed emblems before in the various Cyclops ruins we've visited, and we've seen large boxes, some of which we've cracked open. Such as in the Lonely Barrow. So one could infer from here that this is Cyclops related and possibly a sarcophagi of some sort. Anyway, we can say, what does it have to do with me? But basically we're going to say we can help. And yeah, you look really strong. Can you do something about that evil box maybe? I just wish it would disappear. Then all the other Nixies would forgive me and stop being angry at the humans. Anyway, this is the neutral good option. I like it. We're just going to help. And yeah, there we go. And the box is creepy. So you can see we've cleared this central bit. We're going to head down here to maybe investigate this box. Since they dragged it out of the water, one might expect it to be near the water. But I'm just going to clear last little bit of the map. So let's head on over here to investigate a mysterious box, which may or may not be a sarcophagus. Also, I should point out, you can see a house here, the village, the where the she's referring to the people who built their houses near the lake. This is the village down here, but we're going to visit that after we've investigated down here. And she referenced fish jumping out the lake. And we can see here, some unknown power made entire schools of fish jump ashore. Some of the fish are already dead, but others twitch, their eyes bulging, their mouths opening and closing silently, as if out of desperation or horror. So this box doesn't sound very nice, is what I'll
A
say.
simple smile goes a long
And
way.
we've got Tatzel worms here.
What troubles you?
We're going to... There we go.
Come at me, I dare you.
And is that fascinate going to work? Yeah. On some of them, yeah. Always like the fascinate just because it feels so fun to do. But
Stay behind me.
let's see about finishing these off because it's going to wear off because I only did it for 1 round plus of course lingering song. And Leopard, you're attacking the wrong. Ah, dear. Okay, Harem back, Valerie
Let us
there,
strike as
everyone
one.
there.
Away, you rascal!
Repent.
Stand down.
Who's getting hit? Okay.
Serves you right.
Poor planning on my part, of course. Thank you, Harem. That's always very nice of you. Yeah, poor planning on my part because I'm not spending buffs, basically. They drop the usual Tatzel worm stuff, and we can just have a little look at these fish, and we can collect a fat, tasty-looking fish, which is a relevant item, I will say. We will use that in just a moment, but not
The
before
dangers don't frighten
we've
me.
investigated along here. So yeah, more fish, and we can grab a Taldan Warrior's dog tag just there. And if we... Where are you?
Anything is possible.
There. Just come up here. We reveal this cave in these rocks, and we know from what the Nixie was saying that they were dragging this box ashore. So let's have a little look in this cave.
I'll share my path.
Make the most of this aura. We've got a campfire, pot cooking, various boxes. Someone's obviously here. Let's steal all their stuff. And we get a pile of notes here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. So yes, but they claim that Silverstep, this region, is cursed. They saw a boat sailing and with a big box, and suddenly the steersman spins the wheel and rams the boat right against the rocks. So we know why that happened. It was because that particular Nixie used her fey magic to cause them to do it. And they yelled something about Shah and went frozen. Now, second note, let's go look in the wreckage. And yeah, she found out about the boat and the chest, and now he's looking for treasure. These woods give me the creeps. So, you know, clearly they saw this boat crash and they were trying to drag this box out. But there's some other things, like they're talking about the woods, and they're talking about 2 glowing eyes in the woods. And while you were busy being scared of that wolf or runaway kitty or whatever it was, so there's something, they reference something in the woods, not here, but further up the shore, one would presume. And yes, some of them are not keen about this box. And yes, so I'm gonna show my heels when the chief gets that box. So obviously, not all is, you know, I can't think of the right word. Not all is well in this group.
Applause, please.
Quite a big chunk of gold though, 621. How much longer we got on this? 2 minutes. Not great. And more dog tags. And I'll just bring that up again. So they've hooks, pivots, and other tools that would be needed to recover something from the water. So they've clearly pulled this mysterious box with a big single eye on it. Now,
What's new?
I'm going to buff up. Yeah, as is almost always the case with an upcoming fight. But Protect from Arrows, which I've taken on Jubilos, is a great spell because
So, any
you know,
brilliant ideas?
there are plenty of encounters where, you know, it will single-handedly save you. Come forward just a little bit. See what we got. I'll be damned. That beast again. What beast is that? No, these are new strangers. And they want our loot. We can see here what it is. And yes, they don't seem keen on giving up their loot. Although I'd be more concerned about you know, what is actually in there, because I've seen stuff like that before. So this is not a particularly difficult fight. We've got a few regular bandits. So level 4 rogue, level 8 fighter, level 4 rogue, level 4 rogue, a level 7 wizard. This is a necromancer here, and a level 5 fighter. So in true fashion, we are going to, you can see they're casting Innovation there. It's a really nasty spell to get hit with. But we're going to send the cat forward. And in fact he's been tripped, so we can bring everyone else in, except you range lock can fire over there. He's quite tough. We're just missing, that's all.
Do not falter.
Finish off
Any last wishes?
that one. Double crits, that's nice. This crossbow squad here.
Don't hold back.
And that should be everything. There we go. And we've spotted something interesting. So
Don't you think?
just going to pick up these various bits and pieces.
Anything else?
So this is really nice, and we're going to give this to Ragonga when we get home. This slicer, which is a runic mage blade designed specially for maguses. Yeah. And yeah, so when you have a touch spell charge, the weapon's enchantment bonus is 2 better than its actual bonus, which means that that's a +4 weapon, which is great if it's being used in the hands of a actively casting magus. That is nice loot. We get a huge stash of potions. Aid, barkskin, I mean, that's a really nice potion. It's only cast at level 5, so it's only going to last 30 seconds, but still. It's a potion of heroism again. That's going to last almost an hour, 50 minutes, and some regular stuff. So yeah, nice potion stash. Take that composite short bow. This is part of our Cypress Queen set here. Storyteller artifacts. Let me bring this up. So sort by type. So now we've got the flower, the goblet, and the quill. And we'll just loot the rest of these bodies before we prepare to fight. So in fact, I'm just going to grab all of that because we're going to go visit a merchant after this.
How cute!
Indeedy. Now I'm actually going to go and buff up properly now, because I kind of think we've reached that stage where we can expend a large quantity of stuff.
Just letting the ink dry.
There we go. And we're going to need protection from fear as well, or remove fear as it is.
And your shield.
I'm still here.
All out.
My skills are getting rusty.
That one's for you, isn't it? Eagle Splendor. We don't need to see invisibility, but it's long lasting, so yeah. Buckskin, I believe the cat already has. Yep, so that's a matter of Valerie and Harem. What else have I missed? Okay. I've got some superfluous spells here that I don't need, but will. Yep.
And Lindsay was called forth.
So we are ready, I believe, to
Is there trouble?
commence this this rather difficult fight. So
I wrote it like I saw it.
there we go. Gonna cast that there.
Adventures are exciting.
Gonna cast that there.
Adventures call to them.
And there. And off we go. So we can do some checks here. Water and sludge still drip from this huge stone block, which has obviously been dredged from the lake. Yeah. One side bears an engraved symbol, a skull with a single eye socket, and the eye socket is covered with a coin. So, detect magic. You sense powerful necromancy energies. Okay. Examine the exterior. Law religion. Hopefully we'll pass that. Yep. The engraving on the side of the sarcophagus resembles the symbol of Charon, the horseman of death. But Charon's symbol usually has 2 eye sockets, each covered by a coin, while the symbol here only has 1. There's nothing more you can tell except that it's ancient. And we can auto-succeed this one. Search for an easier means to open. And one would guess, even cracking it open, no matter how long it takes, you'd start this fight unbuffed. So, yeah, there we go. Got enough knowledge in order to experiment and find an easy way to open it. Whatever's inside is huge, angry, and far from dead. Cool. And what do you know? It's a Cyclops. And for some reason, some other dead. So actually, Lindsay, we need you to move out the way. Thank you. So we've got zombies. These are low level. 2, 1, 2, 2, and 2. That's the zombies. But this here, level 12 undead, level 3 fighter, thick-skinned dread zombie Cyclops. It's going to hit very hard. Reasonable AC for what we're dealing with for our levels at the moment. Usual undead damage resistance. And because it's undead, none of our mind-affecting spells are going to work. None of our compulsion, no disease, no charm, no insta-death, no sleep, no negative energy, and so on. And it's also immune to nauseated, fatigued, and sickened, which is means nothing which we might have that could cause that is going to work. Now, here's how it's going to go. Harem is going to summon some dead. Lindsay is going to run away. Valerie's going to move there. Jubilost, we've been saving holy bombs just for this. And we should... They're not immune to slow, are they? No, so we should be able to hit them with slow and simultaneously a second round of slowing mud. So that should, if we can just sneak Valerie that way a little bit, get the cat there. Hopefully it won't die too quickly. Or at all. This ancient curse. Yeah, if we just So yeah, there we go. That's all I was looking for. This trap. The trap on the sarcophagus. It only does 1d6 negative damage. But still, that's yeah. So we're looking good. Jubilost getting ready. Our slow spells. And Lindsay, no need for competence anymore. Yes, now they're even slower. I believe they're... That's a nice hit there. Alright, we're good.
Do not falter.
You offend
Clever
me.
ploy. Ha! Primitives.
And
Will they ever
finish it
learn?
off. Yeah. There we go. So not really difficult if you go all out. You know, I didn't want to get clobbered too much. If we just gonna check what its attack bonus was. Yeah, we can't see, but we can if we see. There, so only attack bonus of 17. So because I know that's secondary weapons, so that's 22. So yeah, that's quite a high AB. Obviously, we're stacking a lot of stuff on this cat, so you know that's not such an issue. But yeah, you can see here. Packed crates filled with various goods obviously belonged to some merchants before they made their way here. Many of them are spotted with blood, so obviously these were bandits using this cave to hide their ill-gotten gains. And our rewards are a simple great axe +1, not very interesting, and some various bits of junk from these zombies.
I'll share my path.
So now that we've got all our buffs active, I'm going to do one more fight, and that involves casting Slay Poison Communal. And we are going to come up here, and this is a little bit of like an Easter egg fight, I suppose, since you might not know it was here. We're going to come close.
What troubles you?
Yeah, we're a bit short on anything.
Friendship lasts forever.
Recast haste. Whoops. Recast haste. And Harem, I had thought you were going to summon them, but got distracted in the Cyclops. So we can interact with this here. And if we find our fish. There. Fish from the Silverstep Lake. Silverstep Lake. There. You can pop that there. And unpause, and ooh, what's going to happen? We get this cute little thing. Level 15 Ancient Wyvern, and we fought an Ancient Wyvern before, but I believe this one is tougher. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attacks, basically. So, yeah. Bit tricky.
Your time is over.
Jubilost, you might as well throw some bombs. We're going to see whether we can just get it to attack the undead there before we
This will
close
hurt.
in. What else we got to
Away,
deal with it
rascal.
quickly? Yeah, it's looking alright.
Stand down.
Moved on to attacking the cat. So you can see it's got pretty high armor class. This is a usual thing with these Owlcat games. They just stick a really high natural armor on these enemies, meaning, you know, they've got inflated armor. So hopefully that's going to finish it off. There we go. As you can maybe tell from my keenness to bring Jubilost everywhere, I lean on bombs a lot, because not having someone like Ekendayo in the party, you need someone who can output a fair amount of damage,
Just letting the ink dry.
and I lean on Jubilost for that. Let's see if we can grab Wyvern Scales. There we go. We'll collect all of that. Now I know I said that was going to be the last bit, But, and I realise this video has got exceptionally long, but I might just, actually no, I'm going to call the video quits here. We've run all over this map, and we've done quite a few bits, and in the next video we will have a chat to Lika here and tell her that we've defeated the beast inside the coffin.